Hello and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is Bob Power, and on behalf of OTC Markets, we're very pleased you've joined us for our next live presentation from Century Lithium Corporation. Before I introduce our speaker, a few points to note. Please submit your questions in the question box to the left of the slides. If you're interested in meeting with Century Lithium, please click on the Schedule Meetings tab found in the platform navigation bar. You'll be able to view the company's availability and submit a meetings request. On a final note, all of today's presentations will be recorded and available for 24/7 replay. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome Spiros Kakos, Vice President of Investor Relations at Century Lithium, which trades on the OTCQX Best Market under the symbol CYDVF and on the TSXV under the symbol LCE. Welcome, Spiros.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for the introduction. Yes, as you said, my name is Spiros Kakos. I'm the Vice President of Investor Relations for Century Lithium. Century Lithium is a advanced stage lithium company with a key project in Nevada called Clayton Valley Lithium Project. This project, which you probably are looking at right now on the slide, is a claystone project in a light gray colors that you see on the screen. That is the lithium claystone. It's right at surface. We are the third most advanced project in the state of Nevada. So let me just kind of fast forward a bit. Cautionary statements for everybody, because I will be making forward-looking statements. Start off with the board. We've made some changes over the last couple of years. The company has a new chair. She came on board in 2021, I believe. Cassandra Joseph. She's a veteran lawyer with a background in environmental and corporate law. But more importantly, she was the Deputy Attorney General to the Attorney General's office in the state of Nevada. Brian and Ken Owen have both come on board, each bringing 40 years experience. And Ken has a background in engineering, working with big companies such as De Beers, Anglo Platinum, and of course SRK. The president of the company is Bill Willoughby. Bill Willoughby is a 45-year veteran. He's an engineer, worked with Tech Cominco. I myself had a background of over 20 years working with companies that were in production, such as Great Panther Silver, and then Bram Jonker as well, our new CFO, has also joined on. So the key point I want to kind of leave everybody here is that everybody in management has worked in the state of Nevada, and everybody here has either worked for companies that have gone into production or taken companies towards production. Okay, just to highlight what makes us different than some of the other companies, because right now there's, I guess this year you've got about 200 new lithium companies on the OTC than they were last year. Just for the fact some of them just have the word lithium in it, as opposed to actually having any lithium. So what makes us a bit different is, like I said earlier, one, we are the third most advanced lithium project in Nevada. Right. I'll talk a little bit more about that later on in my presentation. Currently, the project is at a feasibility stage. Our pre-feasibility showed us that it has a 40-year mine life, and it is in the state of Nevada, which is probably the best state for regarding to mining jurisdictions. Technology-wise, our pilot plant's been running for over 17 months. We use a unique chloralkali process, and our direct lithium extraction is the DLE. We're working with Koch Engineering Solutions, and we're collaborating with them on the DLE, and we've already achieved last year 99.5% recovery. Now, as you saw in the opening slide, it's hot, it's dry in Nevada. So Esmeralda County, where our project is in Clayton Valley, there's a lot of lithium companies, but reality is if you don't have any water rights, you cannot take these projects towards production. So we are one of 3 projects that have water rights. So we have enough water to run our project up to production for what we set it out for, which is operating at 15 tons per day and producing roughly 30,000 tons per annum. And last but not least, we were the first lithium claystone company to produce 999 purity. What does 999 purity mean? What is enhanced? We call it enhanced battery grade. It means it's that grade you can use. That battery grade can be used for any kind of SUV, any kind of electric vehicle, including crossover electric vehicles. Because the normal 99.5 that you see quite commonly, it's good for laptops, computers, and some electric vehicles, predominantly vehicles that are in Asia or India. But 999 means you can use it for any kind of electric vehicle. Okay, shares issued and outstanding 147 million, fully diluted roughly 180. Market cap's bouncing around 150 million. Cash position is at 27.7 million. So we got a really strong cash position. Stock wise, well, like a lot of companies, we've lost pretty much 50% of our market cap from where we were last year. A lot of that has to do with external affairs of, the war in the Ukraine, interest rate hikes, lockdowns in China, and everything else. So we're slowly starting to recover from that. But when things get rough, people like to take profits off the table, and a lot of the lithium companies, which did very well in 2021, all of us got hit, and the profits got ripped, got taken out. So you've seen companies such as Lithium America was trading at 55, now trading at 26. Standard was trading at 15, now trading at 5 or 4, actually around $4. And we were trading at 260, 270, now trading around 1. So not much is not the fundamentals haven't changed. Actually, we've continued to de-risk the project despite the market collapsing. So you could see last year in 2021, I should start off when we acquired our water rights, but by February we did a bought financing for $18 million with PI Financial. Quickly after that, we commenced our feasibility study with Wood PLC. And a couple months later, we acquired our neighbor's project, drilled it, and by August we announced positive drill results. In June, we delivered or announced our positive direct lithium extraction results of recoveries of 99.5%. And I can't express how important that is, right? That's really strong recoveries. September, we confirmed production of our battery grade. October, we brought in ThyssenKrupp, and later on, we started collaborating with Coke Separation Solutions. So, price of lithium, the demand for lithium keeps going up and up and up and up. A lot of people have been asking me, what's happened to lithium? You're seeing the price of lithium has come down dramatically over the last couple of months. How does that reflect you? Well, I just want to point out that the spot price of lithium has come down. Now, the spot price was trading at roughly $80 to $90, right? And now it's dropped down to roughly 80 to 90,000, I should say. And now it's dropped down to around 35 or so, 30,000. But that spot price, it's a very thinly traded market on a Chinese exchange, and it can be subject to or has the ability to be manipulated if somebody wants it to be, especially when it's like almost like state sponsored. So no one really paid attention to spot prices when trading at 80 or 90, and no one's really paying attention to it when it's trading around 25 or 30. The key thing to look at is what are contractual prices at. That's what the prices are really at. What are people doing contracts at? And contract prices are still around $40,000 to $50,000. And the long-term lithium prices, and this is just not my perspective, but every analyst, be it from BMO to Cormark to Canaccord, everybody, or PI, they're all using roughly 23 to 26,000. So around that range is what the long-term prices are. Because what you're seeing here is the demand keeps going up and up and up and up. Right. For those who don't know, lithium has been labeled a critical mineral, which means if you find it in North America, you must keep it here for a domestic supply chain, right? And On top of that, the current U.S. administration has launched the Defense Production Act, which allows for various grants and loans to be given to companies that are looking for lithium here in North America. So, just to say a little bit more about that, and I've said this before for people who know my presentation, roughly 80 or 85% of the world's lithium is owned directly or indirectly by China, and and China on top of that consumes roughly 80% of that. So the United States, Canada, Europe, um, we've all become dependent on foreign energy. So this is why it's so crucial that we're able to find lithium in our own backyards to supply our own markets here. So no longer to be dependent on foreign energy. And there is only one producing lithium project in all of North America, and that's Albemarle Silver Peak operation. And that's the project which is just adjacent to us. Albemarle is the oldest lithium company. I believe it was the first lithium production company. This project itself, the Silver Peak brine operation, it's a smaller project, but it's been operating since 1968. And we are adjacent to it. We are not a brine company. We are a claystone project, right? So we're a little bit different, and I'll talk about that. And we also have some geothermal lease land that we're looking to see if we're able to generate some geothermal energy. So it's just to kind of get off the grid a little bit. Our project is pretty much central Nevada. There's Las Vegas. We go drive about an hour and a half. You'll get to Armagosa Valley, where our pilot plant is, and then drive another hour and a half, roughly 3 hours from Vegas. You'll be at our project in Clayton Valley. So, a closer look in the state of Nevada, you'll see, like, outside of the brine projects, which is Albemarle, Silver Peak, or Pure Energy's Clayton Valley, you'll see there are three big projects. Now, this is important here because you'll see that Ioneer has a project called Wildlight Ridge. They've got a feasibility which they completed a couple years ago, or last year, I should say. And then after they did their feasibility study, they were able to get grants up to $700 million from the federal government. Lithium America has a project called Thacker Pass near Reno. It's a good project, much bigger than ours, but they completed their feasibility in January of this year, and the next day they had General Motors come in for $650 million. Our project has a pre-feasibility that completed, also a pilot plant operating for the last 17 months, and we expect our feasibility study to be finished sometime by the end of the second quarter. I won't talk too much about the geology, but just want to point out that we have a lot of reserves and a huge resource, which gives us a 40-year mine life. The deposit features, because it's at surface, is really flat. You've got minimal overburden. It's soft, so there's no drilling required, no blasting. It goes down to about 150 meters, so it's really easy to kind of take out. And there's potential for rare earths as well. A pre-feasibility study, which was done in 2021. I have to caution you here because this is an older study and it's pre-COVID, so prices have changed. But what remains the same is this: we're looking to continue to operate at 15,000 tons per day for 40 years, and produce roughly 30,000 tons per annum. Right, that stays the same. We used a base price of 9,500, and that gave us an NPV of 1 billion and an IRR of 26%, right? But the CapEx was 500 million and OpEx was at 3,000. So your CapEx, and this was also, one more thing I should say, that this was based upon sulfuric acid. We've now switched from sulfuric acid using hydrochloric acid. So it's just a different technique to extract the lithium out of the claystone, and it allows us not to truck in sulfuric acid, that we're able to create hydrochloric acid on site. So your CapEx model is going to change and your OpEx is going to go up as well. But nevertheless, from 9,500, this should probably come up between anything between 23 to 26,000. So I'll let you guys do the math on that. Project assumptions. This slide just wants to point out how big the project is, that we have enough land to actually put our pit, our tailings, our plant, and even our waste all on a project. So we don't have to truck anything. So we're really minimizing our carbon footprint. The Sonic Drill Program, this is the piece of land that we acquired here from Intertopia. We drilled it. We found that the results of that were about 1% or 2% higher than what we expected. And now means that our pit now can stretch all the way out to here, to the edge of the, excuse me, pardon me, to the edge of the boundary. And it'll probably become a little bit shallower, which becomes more economic. Pilot plant facility in our Armacosta Valley. It's a permanent operation. It's been in existence now for 17 months. It's we have, I believe, the largest pilot plant facility in all of the United States for claystone projects for lithium. Our objectives have all been met. We're produced positive results in our DLE. We're achieving really good moisture content, less than 40% on our tailings, and we've obtained 99.5% recovery from our lithium, from our DLE, and of course achieved 999 purity on our battery grade on our product. So this is the extraction process. I'll show you. I'm going to try to do it a little bit differently here. I'll show you kind of how it works. I'm just going to jump ahead. So you get these bags of 1 ton lithium claystone. We take these bags, so once it's just crushed rock, crushed claystone, we put them through these beige slurry tanks. We run them through there for about 24 hours, right? And at that point, we leach it out. All the impurities drop out. So we recover about 85% of the lithium. We take this solution and then we put it through what's called the direct lithium extraction process, and we recover 99.5% of that. Now that concentrated solution goes into these vats that you see here, and we've been shipping these vats out now to Vancouver, Canada, where a engineering firm called Saltworks has been evaporating it and coming out with lithium carbonate. There we go. That's it. That's how we achieved our 999 purity. So from the ESG side, in permitting, which is a key thing, we've done a lot of baseline work has been completed. We know that there's no rare plants or rare animals or breeding grounds so far on the project, or no red flags. We have designed this project to minimize environmental and cultural impact. Because we're in Nevada and we do have geothermal land, there are opportunities for renewable energy to bring down the cost of power. We're looking at solar and also geothermal. Solar power plants are popping up everywhere in Las Vegas, sorry, in Nevada. And of course, we're focusing on effective water and management. Currently, right now, our project is able to recycle 100% of its water that's being used. Right. And of course, a commitment to work with local communities by bringing in jobs and helping the towns nearby. So moving forward, what lies ahead for Century Lithium? First thing is complete the feasibility study. Now, why is this technical study so important, right? The key thing about this technical study is that it unlocks two things for us. It'll allow us to pursue financial opportunities via strategic partnerships. And of course, it unlocks the door for us to formally be able to apply for various grants and loans. Remember, as I said earlier, once Lithium America completed its feasibility study, General Motors came in for 650, and when Ioneer finished theirs, they brought in 700 million US dollars by federal grants and loans into their project Violet Ridge. So as that feasibility study is crucial, the next big step for us will be completing our plan of operations. That's important because the POO, as we call it, will allow us to initiate our NEPA permitting process with the BLM, the state of Nevada. And that means be it via, it's going to be either EA or EIS, will commence. And that permitting process takes roughly between 15 to 18 months. So we always like to say around, let's call it 2 years just to play it safe. So it's a 2-year process. And I know for people who are not familiar in mining, they think that's a long time. But let me make the point that that actually is super fast, because a lot of times in other jurisdictions around the world, it can take 5 to 10 years for a project to get permitting. So 15 to 18 months is really fast. This is why the state of Nevada is such a key important state in mining. And the last but not least, we are working with Saltworks to later on to bring Saltworks in to help us create a lithium carbonate product on site. So we're able to go from claystone to product all on site. They're gonna engineer the evaporation process. All right. And that pretty much sums it up. So we are, in conclusion, we're an advanced stage project, third most advanced in the state of Nevada. We've confirmed our battery grades. And it's not just at benchmark levels. We've done it using, leaching about 2 kilos of water. We have our DLE program has recovered over 99.5%. And again, we are operating in a favorable jurisdiction with water rights. Okay, so don't have too much time, so I'm going to try to take some questions, if that's okay. Let's see here. It says here, on your March presentation, strategic partnerships is on 2023 H2, but on April presentation, it's on H3, strategic partnerships 2023 H1. Does that mean the strategic partnership is going to happen in 2023 H1? Well, strategic partnerships are going to happen as soon as they happen. You can't put a date on that. The goal is that you want to it's your feasibility study or as close as you get to kind of getting that feasibility study, that's going to bring in your partner, your potential strategic partner. And by that, I don't mean somebody coming in at corporate level, which means that we're not going to do we're not looking at a share purchase. We're looking to do something at project level, which means that the company X would invest X amount of required for the capex of the project, right? So they'll take down 40% of the capex or 50% of the capex for X amount of the project. That's what we're looking for, right? So that's going to happen by itself. We can't put a date to it. Okay. What do you think? When do you think the feasibility will come out? End of May or end of June? Well, that's if I answered that question, that would be selective disclosure. So it'll come out when it's going to come out. We're still on right now. We still have it coming out on time. If it's going to be delayed, we'll put a press release out. So it's for as of today, it's still on sometime in the second quarter. Okay, the questions are pretty much the same about when is it coming out. A lot of questions on the feasibility. Have any legacy automakers reached out and expressed interest? Well, we've talked to a lot of companies that have reached out, and each company is looking for different things. But we do talk to many automakers, all sorts of companies out there. So we have and continue to have conversations with multiple people. Can you touch on the equipment from Coke that was announced recently? Yeah, I can do that. I'm going to go back because I kind of skipped that slide here. So we are working with Coke Technology Solutions, right, on our direct lithium extraction. So what happened was Coke saw that last year we produced 99.5%. We were using a process working with a company called Chemionics, right? So they ended up buying the Lionix process from Chemionics, right, and then taking over the licenses. Basically, we have key licenses that are ours, So in doing so, they come back to us about a year later saying, "Hey guys, listen, we made some difference. They made some improvements on the process, and we think that this could help you guys out a lot." So they wanted to share with us some of the changes they've made. That being said, we too have made some changes on our DLE. So we're sitting down now together, and we're working on our GOSA, where we're collaborating our technologies and to seeing how we can improve the direct lithium extraction to make it more economic, looking at cost data, looking at design and everything else. But the key thing is Coke, which is is the largest private company in the United States, one of the largest chemical companies in the world, is there to support us all the way to production. They really want to make sure that this thing works, and they're standing behind their product as much as possible, right? I hope that answers your question. Um, what is the ballpark number for capex on the new facility? That's going to come out with a feasibility study. I can't really talk about that right now. Um, and I think that's about it for questions. And let's just see if anybody else has any more questions. Nope. All right. I think I got one more in here I can squeeze in. What quarter in 2023 do you plan to or estimate to do a deal or investment from auto manufacturers? Okay, so we'd like to, once the feasibility study is out, we, either during or after, our goal is to bring a strategic partner. Timing, I can't comment on when that's going to happen. It'll happen when it happens. Once we get a deal done on the strategic level, I, the next step will be to look at doing offtake agreements, right? So first, you got to get your project into place, get your capex, get a handle of your capex, and see how you're going to pay for it. And at that point, later on, you can do your offtake agreements. We're in no rush to do that. You can't do your offtake agreements before you do a strategic partnership. It doesn't work that way. You have to go the other way around. Okay. So on that front, I want to say thanks again, guys, for giving me the opportunity to speak at the OTC conferences. I want to thank everybody who came and took their time today to listen to our presentation. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can reach me on my mobile at 604-764-1851 or send an email at info@centurylithium.com.